Hardly any MCU movie is currently being hyped as much as Spider-Man No Way Home. The film not only marks the departure of Tom Holland and his character from the MCU, but is also a real feast for fans of the predecessors and an important pioneer in Phase 4 of the MCU. We now introduce you to a few details that make the teaser trailer a real spoiler-free masterpiece. A good indicator to categorize scenes are usually the outfits of the movie characters. In this regard, it is noticeable that MJ wears the same clothes as in the post-credit scene of Far From Home. Even the astonished face of Peter Parker at the very end of Far From Home is now given context, as in the new trailer, we get to see MJ and Spidey being chased and insulted by seemingly endless crowds of angry protesters. The motive is clear. After all, the whole world now knows what the friendly neighborhood spider's name is, as well as what he looks like. Various posters read Public Enemy Number 1, a campaign that is no doubt fueled by J. Jonah Jameson and the Daily Bugle. After all, they are attempting to frame Spider-Man for Mysterio's death. What also surprised us is Doctor Strange's general demeanor. He seems to have become noticeably more arrogant, perhaps even jovial, much like he was at the beginning of the first Doctor Strange movie. Also, his unquestioning willingness to help Peter against the wishes of his friend Wong seems somehow unusual, especially in relation to the wink to Peter that has been brought up several times in memes. It was also exciting to see that there is clear evidence of Electro and Sandman. You may not see either of them directly, but in one scene Peter seems to be protected by Sandman from a yellow beam from the electric bad guy. The same goes for one of the most popular villains of the Spider-Man franchise, the Green Goblin. He doesn't make a personal appearance either, but you can see an orange and green explosive bomb rolling between a couple of cars towards the camera, accompanied by the character's typical maniacal laughter. Needless to say, the only returnee who can actually be seen is Doc Ock, appearing in a spectacular fight scene and addressing Peter directly. A truly epic moment that gives you goosebumps. After a very long cinema-free period, CinemaCon in Las Vegas is at least a glimmer of hope again for movie fans around the globe. Of course, among the top-class films that will be released in the coming year, one cannot be missing: The Batman. Matt Reeves' standalone film has been causing commotion since its very early announcement in 2015, initially mostly negative. Many fans were bothered by Robert Pattinson signing for the leading role, but in the meantime, the hype has grown bigger than ever. In order to keep the fan spirits up, Warner Bros. Released what is now the second trailer for the DC spectacle. Besides scenes from the movie, behind-the-scenes footage was also shown in Las Vegas as well. Gotham City seems to sing into chaos in the trailer while dramatic music plays in the background. Pattinson himself comments that the Batman we will see in the finished film will be radically different from the previous cinematic characters. Reeves also adds that it will be an emotional movie based on the Batman Year One comic by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. Moreover, there are fight scenes between Batman and Catwoman in the trailer which have a very personal touch. Also, Andy Serkis can be seen in his role as Alfred, of course in proper style with a vest and white hair. Eventually, the trailer ends with a Batmobile revving up its engine and a few parting words from director Matt Reeves. We can't wait to see the trailer with our own eyes and look forward to the release of the DC blockbuster on March 4th, 2022. Speculation about the title has been going on for a long time, but now at CinemaCon it was indeed confirmed that the fourth Matrix installment will carry the title The Matrix Resurrections. In keeping with this, there was even a first trailer which was shown exclusively in Las Vegas. So we must rely on eyewitness report. Our summary is based primarily on coverage from the outlet Screen Rant and The Hollywood Reporter. The story is set in the San Francisco of the future and features a Thomas Anderson who apparently has no memory of the events of the past three films. He's undergoing treatment by a psychiatrist who's played by Neil Patrick Harris and is diligently consuming blue pills as he keeps seeing the Matrix codes in his surroundings. In a store, Neo then meets his companion Trinity, whom he of course also doesn't recognize. Later, a young Morpheus shows up and gives Neo the red pill, whereupon he follows a strange person with a bunny tattoo through a mirror. We assume that this is the German actor Max Riemold. These opening scenes are immediately followed by hard-hitting action in good old Matrix style, including martial arts, slow motion, and telekinetic powers. The trailer ends with Neo meeting a man in a suit who advises him to return to the Matrix. All sounds pretty exciting, though clearly the question is, when will we be able to see the trailer? Looking at Spider-Man No Way Home, a secret trailer can turn into a video available to the whole movie world in no time, all depending on the respective marketing strategy, of course. We strongly expect a prompt release. After all, the film will already hit theaters on December 22nd. Be sure to activate the notification bell on our channel because the release is just a matter of time. CinemaCon not only had a brand new trailer for Matrix 4 up its sleeve, but also fresh footage of the upcoming Jurassic World Dominion. Since both trailers are not yet intended for the public, we have to settle for eyewitness reports from those present on site, and they promise a lot for the third and final installment of the Jurassic World series. In the trailer shown by Universal in Las Vegas, we pleasingly do not only see the Jurassic World cast around Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and the likes, but also the stars of the very first Jurassic Park film from 1993, namely Laura Dern, Sam Neill, B.D. Wong, as well as Jeff Goldblum. More or less the story is clear because after the dinosaurs have scattered to all parts of the world, they pose a huge threat to humans. That's exactly what the trailer picks up on. So for example, you can see Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard during a wild chase with dinosaurs on a snowy peak. In general, the trailer seems to be full of action, including giant dinosaurs in cities and a mosasaurus rising from the ocean and devouring an entire helicopter. The animations are said to look stunning, mostly due to a really good mix of CGI and practical effects. Well, all sounds very promising, and we hope to be able to show you the full-length trailer on our channel soon. Sadly, we don't know when exactly that will be at this time. Jurassic World Dominion will be released in theaters on June 10th, 2022. Last year, the death of Chadwick Boseman cast a cloud over the entire film world. Respecting the legacy of the King T'Challa actor, Disney decided not to recast his role. Obviously, no one can fill the void he left behind. Nevertheless, there is an important new addition for the sequel. As Marvel boss Kevin Feige recently confirmed in an interview with KinoCheck.com, the character Riri Williams, aka Ironheart, will finally make her MCU movie debut. In the same breath, he announced that she will be played by American actress Dominique Thorne, who already started shooting her own Ironheart series last week. People like to speak of Riri Williams as an Iron Man successor, and for good reason. She's a very talented inventor who studies at the world-famous MIT, and in the comics, she's even supported by Tony Stark himself. Much like a role model, she builds her own improved Iron Man suit and is logically highly technically adept. Speculation has it that she will first debut as Riri Williams in Black Panther 2 and then become the superhero Ironheart in the Disney Plus series. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever will be out in theaters starting July 8, 2022, while the Ironheart series will be released later as a result. The anime Cowboy Bebop has been one of the best of its kind since its release in 1998. All the better that fans will finally get to see a live-action adaptation on Netflix starting in November. After the 3-year stage of development, at least there are now images of the series which give us a very first impression. Among others, Jon Jo can be seen as former Red Dragon member Spike Spiegel, Daniela Pineda as bounty hunter Faye Valentine, and Mustafa Shakir as ex-police officer Jet Black. Another loyal member of the Bebop crew is the corgi Ayn, who can be seen next to Faye in one of the pictures. The dog's peculiarity is not only its cute appearance, but especially its extremely high intelligence. It's not for nothing that the name Ayn comes from its namesake Albert Einstein. Even though many anime fans are traditionally critical of live-action adaptations, it needs to be said that the images shown are quite harmonious and atmospheric. Speaking of atmosphere, the composer of the original, Akane Yoko, will also be adding the final touch to the Netflix series with her jazzy and melancholic works. Director Watanabe Shinichiro is also coming back, serving as an advisor to producers Andre Nemec and Jeff Pinkner. The first season of Cowboy Bebop will consist of 10 episodes and will be available on Netflix from November 19th, 2021. The Expendables movie series is primarily known for two things: badass action and big names. After 3 parts so far, a few weeks ago there was a rather odd photo of Sylvester Stallone with a distinctive ring of his character. Now, he has followed up with more information about the sequel. Likewise, on social media, Stallone published a photograph of a tattoo on which his character Barney Ross is visible. In the image description, he further informs that filming on a spin-off will begin in October and that it will bear the working title of Christmas Story. Of course, this doesn't necessarily mean that it will be Christmassy. In fact, it's more of a reference to the character Lee Christmas, who will be portrayed by Jason Statham. Fans of brute force who may not have gotten their money's worth in the Expendables 3 can expect a slightly harsher age rating again in the upcoming film. Unfortunately, there is neither a release date nor more detailed information regarding the content, but we will, of course, keep you up to date. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you want to know more about the upcoming The Matrix 4, check out our recently published original episode where we are talking about some crazy story theories for the highly anticipated sequel. See you next time.